guys had some momentum going into the half, tied the game up, and then they had a big third quarter. Why do you think the team wasn't able to sustain the momentum they carried into the half?
Yeah, we really at halftime we felt like this was a game we were going to go ahead and go get after it and take it. And everybody felt really good about it, the things that we had done in the first half and all. And we knew we were kicking the ball to them. They get it first. We got to get off the field and get going. And there's the big toss play. We just screwed it up, and I think we had 3 guys there that could make the play, and it winds up being a 60-yard touchdown play. That was a back-breaking play in the game, and then we needed to respond, and we didn't have it to respond, and so they get out by a couple of scores, and that then falls into their hands. They know how to play with a lead like that, and they did a nice job. Third down was atrocious for us today on both sides of the football. We couldn't convert, and we couldn't stop them to get out of there. Some of those third and shorts, that's been a little bit of a theme throughout the year. Third and 2s and 3s right in there, 1s and 2s and 3s. And so third down was a big factor. And they did a nice job of finishing the game. They took control of it.
193 yards on the ground today. What from your vantage point, what was the issue?
Well, at halftime they were averaging 2 yards, 2 point something to carry, And so we did not think that was the issue. That's what I'm saying. The toss breaks out for 59 or 60 or whatever, and that changes the complexion of the stats, if nothing else. And then they're ahead, so they get to run the ball to finish the game in the fourth quarter. That's kind of how that happens. So they did a nice job of doing that, and we didn't stop enough.
Pete, just wanted to, you alternated between Caleb Rogers and Mafia throughout the game. Just what was the reason behind the alternation between the two guys?
Because that's about where it came out competing-wise, in practice, that they both deserve to have a shot. So we want to get them on film, see what we can find out. I'm really anxious to see what that looks like. We want to get back to it.
With everything surrounding the offense this week, how difficult was it to get anything going when the time of possession was as lopsided as it was?
Yeah, well, you got to remember how the game went. It was we had 2 huge drives in the first half, and one of them we didn't stop them. One of them we get the big turnover. It was a great job by our guys hanging on defense, and we had a nice sudden change when we go out on defense and we stop them on fourth down. Those are big stops, but they had a lot of plays on us, and so they were able to drive the ball, and that goes all the way back to where we started. It goes back to third down. You got to go sit down, and we didn't get off the field long enough. But I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but offensively, to have an expectation that we're going to flip-flop and all of a sudden be ripping, we'd like to have seen that, but that didn't happen, and we're a ways away. Everybody communicated really well. We had no problem functioning and all that, and in a couple of days' time, that's a nice accomplishment by those guys, but we'll get a lot better.
During the course of your career, Howard, the seeds for your future success were kind of planted in that first year, regardless of how you did. You go back to USC, the Chris Richard play at U of A, Marshawn. Are there moments this season where you see the seeds of future success, whether it's Brock Bowers? In a season like this, do you see those seeds planted for future success?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's why it's so hard to take. That we're not able to enjoy the hard work and the changes and the adjustments that we've made, because it's very similar. You're talking, and you watched it. It's very similar to how we're responding together, the way we work, the attitude, the mentality, guys supporting one another. All of that is what it takes to turn the corner and get around. There was a game a few weeks ago. We were 2-5. I was talking about the SC 2-5. It's the same thing. We were in the same place at one point, and we didn't get that game. But that was a time to turn it, and so it just hasn't happened yet, and it feels like it's just right there within our reach, and so maybe it doesn't look like that to you guys, but that's what it feels like, and I can say that because of the mentality of the guys in the locker room, and they continue to lead well, they continue to hang well, they continue to practice well, and respond to the challenges of it. So that part of it is okay. We have to play better.
Anything more, guys? Good. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I thought Ole did a tremendous job at, with a week's notice of getting guys prepared, putting together a game plan. No one knows how hard it is to step into that role when you haven't been all season. To have to speak new terminology, to try to get players involved in the game. Things that obviously he's done before, but I thought he did a great job, and I'm really appreciative of Coach Ole for that.
Geno, you had a good drive right before the end of the half, and a good drive in the beginning of the fourth quarter. What do you think went right on those drives, and why not able to sustain it a little more consistently throughout the entire game?
We all just got to play better. I got to play a lot better. I got to be better for the guys. That's really it. We got to be more consistent. I got to be more consistent down in, down out.
Is there any spot in your past in your career that has kind of prepared you for what you're going to do in the regular season?
Every week is a new experience. Every year is a new experience, and the past is the past. I'm focused on getting better right now and ways we can improve.
That's Brock Bowers. How good your tight end is.
Brock Bowers is a tremendous player. We see it week in and week out. He makes plays all over the field. He does things not many guys can do. And we got to continue to find ways to get him, in space and get him the ball. But he's a great player.
What do you think are the positives to build upon, in particular those two good drives you guys did have that you could take forward?
Yeah, I think we all have to be more consistent. And it starts with me. I got to be a lot more consistent and do better for the guys. I got to find a way to put up more points, help our defense out, give us leads so those guys can play with the lead. Thank you, guys.